finally, the greatest goblin that ever lived is here for a comic book review. I'm going to review my stash for the books that kicked off September 2015. I want to thank y'all for joining me. Yeah, this video is way late and I am way behind. I am like 2 weeks behind. But you know what? I'm still going to do this. It's a hobby of mine. I enjoy doing this. Unfortunately, this particular review is going to be a bit short because I only got 6 books to cover. Mostly DC, got a couple Marvels, and we got something from IDW. Now, before I get started, I need to plug myself. That sounded wrong. Go to my Blugoblin X channel. I just uploaded a topic video in which I finally covered my thoughts on Marvel putting Mary Jane Watson in the Iron Man series. So go check that out. Hear my thoughts about it. And you'll see in that video that I need to start rehearsing this shit. Going on the fly, it's not as easy as it looks. But I should have rehearsed that video more, but I got it done. Go check it out. Who knows, you may agree with me, you may disagree with me, but I'm going to leave that up to you. Alright, we're going to start this review off with Batman Beyond number 4. Dan Jurgens still does a good job here. And Bernard Chang's artwork is really good. I loved the pacing that this story was going in with this particular issue. Things are finally going in the good guy's way. You know, Batman's, you know, really holding his own in here. You got an intervention from Inc. And I really didn't expect Inc. to turn and actually fight alongside with Batman and the rest of his Crusaders here in Gotham, but thought it was nicely done. I was really enjoying this book up until the end. And I've said this before. I've said this on my Twitter page, and I'm going to say it now. My God. DC, you just couldn't help yourselves. I've seen forced in plot points before and forced in plot devices before, but my God, you just couldn't help but further advertise a product of the time. You know, a storyline that's going on, and you think back, I just feel like years from now you're going to look back and look at this and go, where's that from? You know, it's kind of one of those situations. You're just capitalizing on what's trending right now when it comes to Batman. And I'm also thinking, you're meaning to tell me that this was an early production of Batman Beyond suit. Give me a fucking break. Because that leads to a really big plot hole that I don't want to ruin here right now. I know this issue's been out for a while, but I still don't want to ruin the ending. I still don't want to ruin what I think it does for Batman Beyond in general. I might go into detail about it later, maybe on social media, but here I'm not going to ruin it for you. But you just have to take my word for it. It just felt, the cliffhanger at the end, it just felt really, really forced. Like one of those elbow in the rib kind of references. Like, get it? It is what it is. I give this issue a 3. Moving on to Bombshells number 2. DC Comics Bombshells. Marjorie Bennett, love this writing. I really do. I really love this writing. And however, this material didn't feel too extremely dated. Because when you think of the Bombshells, you think of the stuff like maybe the 30s, the 40s, maybe early 50s, maybe. But some of the stuff in here didn't really feel dated. Some of the storytelling, not all of it, but some of it came off like, you know, bit of a modern style. You know, it's like this could have easily been written as a current Wonder Woman storyline. But like I said, like I always say, it is what it is. I thought they did a good job with this. The writing is good. The plot, the pacing of the plot, it's very well done. However, it's not until we get to the Supergirl part of the book That's where, okay, they're emphasizing on this whole bombshell concept, and they're utilizing it much better than they did in the Wonder Woman story. Because all you got to do is just change the artwork a bit in the Wonder Woman story, and boom, you got a current storyline. But with the Supergirl stuff, they really nailed the gimmick of this series. They really nailed it, and they utilized it in a good way. I really enjoyed that. The artwork is fantastic. The writing is solid. It's not perfect, but damn it, I enjoyed it. I thought this was really good. Is this on par with issue 1? Not really. I still think issue 1 was a better book than this one, because there was more utilization of the gimmick that they are trying to sell you here. But overall, this was a nicely done issue. They did a good job. I give it a 3.5. Moving on to Detective Comics number 44. I love this cover. Give me classic Batman and Alan Scott Green Lantern. I'm on board with that. But this is actually the conclusion of this storyline, you know, involving Harvey Bullock and his goal to take down his crooked partner. And I'm going to repeat myself here again. I'm really digging this. Just because Detective Comics is a Batman-centric book, it doesn't have to focus 100% on Batman. And I love that this storyline, much like many before it, is really focusing on the detective aspect. And sometimes Batman doesn't need to be the main focus. And here it's been the Gotham City Police Department, primarily Detective Harvey Bullock. And stuff that he does in here, I was like, whoa, Harvey, what the fuck are you doing? But there were points, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. This was solid. This was really good. It's that classic police versus the mob detective style storytelling that I'm loving. This was really good, a solid conclusion, and it ends on a laugh. I thought this was a fantastic read. This easily gets a 4 from me. Alright, moving on to Marvel. This right here is the pick of the week, folks. The pick for this particular week. Daredevil, number 18. Mark Waid's farewell issue. God damn, this was awesome. Loved this. This was great. A solid, gripping, and epic conclusion to this storyline involving Matt Murdock. You know, basically trying his best to get one up on Wilson Fisk. You know, Matt's got his back against the wall. He's had his back against the wall ever since he exposed his identity to the world, you know, and all that shit. You know, the stuff with the Shroud in here was really good. Everything about this really clicked. You see that hatred that Murdock and Fisk have for each other when they fight. It is so brilliant, so well done. Plus, you get to see just how strong the bond of friendship is between Matt and Foggy. That right there was really good. This book just reeks of wind. In fact, it smells like wind. This was so good. I fucking loved it. And for me, Mark Waid went out with a bang. Is this his best issue? No. But man, I fucking loved it. Mark Waid certainly knew how to nail this character, certainly knew how to appreciate and show respect for this character. Make him a badass, make him an underdog. He could do anything with this character and it would work. He would always find a way to make it work, and I appreciate Mr. Magic Waid himself for what he's done for this character. Fucking amazing. I loved this issue. Not the best, but damn good. Gets a 4.5 from me. Moving on to the one Marvel book I got here. XMen 92 number 3. Another $5 out of my wallet. Now you would think, and I spoke to the Mount Vernon kid about this not too long ago, you would think of all the books that get those free digital codes in them, you would think, this being a $5 book, you would easily assume that this should definitely have those digital codes in there, right? It doesn't. XMen 92, a Marvel series that doesn't have codes. with a $5 price tag. Marvel, you greedy sons of bitches. But with that being said, this issue was still really good. I just think this series overall is way overpriced. If you're going to give it a $5 price tag per issue, put the fucking codes in. Put that digital code in there. Make us believe that we are truly getting our money's worth when we buy these issues if you're going to price every one of them like that. And still, this is a series that I still only recommend for die-hard X-Men fans or die-hard fans of the X-Men animated series in the 90s. If you're just, like I said, if you're just a casual comic book collector, then skip this. You don't need it. But this issue was really good. Cassandra Nova, what a bitch. What a bitch. And she actually, when we actually see what she does with some of the members of the X-Men, I'm thinking, ugh, this could really go somewhere. And you got a good utilization of the X-Force team. And this is an X-Force team that I grew up with. You got Bishop, you got Psylocke, you got Archangel, you got Cable, you got Deadpool, and you got Domino. I mean, that was X-Force for me when I was younger. And it was good to see these characters again. And it was good that they didn't force-feed Deadpool's humor like Marvel did so many years ago. It's like they hoard Deadpool out. Deadpool here, Deadpool there, Deadpool every fucking where. But here, this was correct. This was the correct way to utilize Deadpool without overdoing it. And the other stuff in here, you know, concerning Professor Xavier, concerning the assassination attempt on President Kelly and all that stuff, this was flowing very well. And the cliffhanger at the end of the issue, yeah, the cliffhanger shows something that would make Master Mold go, what the fuck? If he could talk like that. This was a solid read. Overpriced, but still good. Still some things wrong with this, but there's still some things that they nailed right. Especially Storm. I think they did Storm perfectly. They did their homework. Marvel did do their homework with this. Especially with Storm. The fact that she uses full stretchered out words instead of using conjunctions. You know, instead of saying can't, she says cannot. You know, it's the little things like that that I tend to notice, and somehow it just makes it work even better for me. This issue was good, but it's not worth $5, at least not in my opinion. I give it a 3.5. We're going to end this review with IDW. We're going to end it with Jem and the Holograms number 6. Thompson and Campbell just continue to work this title. But, you know, if my opinion on this series seems a bit skewed and seems a bit off to you, you got to remember, I never watched the original cartoon back in the 80s. I never did. I still haven't. Will I? Probably not. So, if I get things wrong when I'm trying to identify characters or identify how they're being developed, if I get some things wrong, I'm sorry. But like I said, this is new stuff to me. This stuff is as old as I am, and this is my first venture into it, so bear with me. You got the Holograms and the Misfits doing, you know, picking up where they left off in here, and it's in this issue where it's revealed that the Holograms now know that Kimber was dating Stormer from the Misfits. You know, full-blown lesbian relationship. But what I really like about the writing in here is that they question her relationship with Stormer not based on the fact that they're lesbians, but based on the fact that they were dating each other behind everybody else's backs, because these are two people from rival bands, and it's kind of like you're sleeping with the enemy. That's what they were questioning. It's like they didn't question why she's gay. They didn't question why she's having affections for this girl. They just wanted to know why you're dating a rival. That's what they were concerned about, and I really appreciated that. I really liked that they stayed away from the easy direction when it comes to plot pacing. They could have easily written down there, you mean you were really always into girls? They could have easily went in that direction and it would have came off a bit But the fact that they just don't even question it at all, it's just a normal thing for them, and I thought that was really touching. It's a big fuck you to discrimination and bigotry, something I usually see from Gail Simone. And when I see it in here from other writers like Thompson, I really dig it. I think it's great. This is really good stuff. It's cute, it's cheesy, it's campy, but it's done like that on purpose. Very nicely done. It's a fun read, but don't take it too seriously. It's based off a fucking cartoon. So for what it is, I'll give it a 3.5. So there's my review, everybody. Please subscribe to this channel, Blugoblin01. Go to Blugoblin X, look at my video for where I cover my thoughts on Mary Jane going to Iron Man. Go to Arkham Asylum Studio. Jennifer and I just uploaded a video where we do a taste test video for Lay's potato chips. I hope you get joy out of that. You know, follow me on Twitter at Blugoblin01. Look for me on Tumblr, just Blugoblin. Look for me on Pinterest. Look for me on Facebook. You can stick here on YouTube. Whatever you want to do, it's fine with me. Give some shout out to my bros, TheMtVernonKid, Deadpoolzilla, and Brandon Hex. As always, a big thank you and a big shout out to everyone here at Arkham Comics for selling me these books that I come out here and review. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I am Groot. Never touch another man's rhubarb, and I'll see y'all later.